The first thing I want to do for my pound cake is start by macerating my strawberries. So I have 1 pint of hulled strawberries, and what I want to do is just quarter them. This is going to be really good on top of the pound cake. We're just going to add some sugar to them, and the sugar is not only going to make the strawberries sweet, but it's going to create a little bit of juice, and so the pound cake will absorb that. It'll be so yummy. And when I have these supper clubs with my girlfriends, it's really fun because at the end, you know how girls can be a little finicky and they don't want to eat dessert, but they see the pound cake, and then they see the strawberries on top, and it's kind of like the guilty pleasure's okay because there's a little bit of fruit and it's so colorful. So now we'll put them back into the bowl, and we're also going to add here a tablespoon of sugar, just like that. And as they sit, they'll slowly soften. So while those macerate, I can start on the pound cake, the yummy part. So we're gonna add 1.5 cups of cake flour. And you wanna make sure that when you're baking, that you really measure out your ingredients, because the cake won't come out right if you don't measure all of the ingredients perfectly. So you see, you just wanna use your finger to level off the cake flour. 1.5 cups of cake flour. And then we're gonna add 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. You wanna, again, make sure you measure it all together. And we're also gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. And I just like to use plain old salt, not kosher salt or sea salt. And then you just wanna give it a quick little mix. Time to get started on the wet ingredients. So, 1.5 sticks of sweet, softened butter. Now you wanna make sure it's at room temperature or even softer, so that way when you mix it all together, you get this fluffy batter. I'm gonna add ricotta cheese. I know you're probably thinking, ricotta cheese in pound cake? Yeah, it's really good. It makes the pound cake cheesy and fluffy. It's sort of my Italian touch on classic pound cake. So 1.5 cups of regular whole milk ricotta and 1.5 cups of sugar. You need the sugar. So again, level it off. You don't want it to be too sweet. Now I want to cream it all together. Okay, now that it's all mixed together and fluffy, I'm ready to add the eggs. Again, room temperature. Make sure all of the ingredients are at room temperature. It just gives you a better, fluffier batter. And you just want to mix it 1 egg at a time. So now, let's add the flavorings. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're also going to add orange zest. Now I told you we're gonna add orange zest because it gives it a nice sort of light aroma and flavor to it, and I tell you, when you bite into it, it just lightens up the pound cake. And amaretto liqueur. It's a sweet almond liqueur, Italian. And we're gonna add 2 tablespoons. And again, a richness, a yummy flavor, an Italian touch. And I love almond flavored desserts. And let's give this a quick little mix. A classic Italian mixture. Okay, dry ingredients. Slowly mixing it all, but you don't want to overmix it either. So as soon as you see that the flour disappears, add some more. Alrighty, the batter is done. Now it's time to pour it into my buttered loaf pan. Okay, so just spread the top. There we go, and that's it. We're gonna bake this at 350 degrees for 50 minutes. Then, once it's cooled, I'm gonna dust the top with some powdered sugar. A buttery pound cake with hints of orange and almonds, topped with a sweet strawberry sauce.